older, I want to be an English teacher for outside of North America for places that lack them. My older brother Davis passed away from cancer on March 26, 2011, when he was 15 years old. He was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma on March 8, 2006, when he was 10 and I was 8. Throughout Davis's treatment, it was so hard for us all. He was going through intense chemotherapy, and considering how high his endurance was, I couldn't even imagine what he had to go through. I remember the day when the words, "Jessie, your brother has cancer," came out of my mom's mouth. It was a normal day. I got home from school and saw all my parents and my brother sitting around the living room table, and the first thing I thought was, what did I do? But then I found out my brother, my protector, my biggest hero, had cancer. I was in complete shock. We were all crying, but then Henry, my dog, started nudging us and doing little flips to try and make us feel better. He made us all laugh during one of the saddest parts in our lives, and of course he was by Davis's side all through it. Through July and August of that first year, he had 2 bone marrow transplants and a major surgery to remove a tumor. I was so scared for him, and I remember when he came out of surgery. The anesthetic hadn't worn off, so he didn't know who I was. That was just terrifying. All these scenarios played through my head, and I was there by his side the second he woke up to make sure he still remembered his little sister. Through all this, I was so mad. I was asking questions like, why me? Why Davis? Did we do something wrong? Something to deserve this? Davis went into remission after a year of treatment. We were all so happy. In fact, it was one of the happiest times in our lives. He actually had a normal time at school, not being known as the kid with cancer. For 18 months, he was cancer-free. We actually got to be a normal brother and sister. I didn't have to be extra careful, and we could just hang out. He relapsed in October of 2008, and it was such a surprise. I was so scared. I'd gotten older, and I understood what was going on much more, and I began to understand what he was really going through. The chemo he went through the second time wasn't as intense as the first, as sometimes the cancer was hardly even noticeable, but it was still there. In September of 2010, it started getting much harder and much worse. By Christmas, he was just staying in bed at all times. That Christmas was so hard. I was used to just waking up and immediately waking Davis up so we could go open presents. That didn't happen, but we were still together. In March, everything started to go wrong. I think we could all sense it was nearing Davis's end of the journey. We started making plans to stay in one of the rooms at the Flames Rotary House. It's a place for families to go if they're near the end. We arrived on March 25th and had a hard night. I woke up around 10 o'clock and arrived, and Davis was in his bed breathing very heavily. Soon after, he took his last breath, and I held my brother's hand for the very last time. I'm the only child now. I felt so lonely. Even though I had amazing friends who were incredibly supportive, I just went into a deep depression. I would hardly talk to anyone. I would just lie in Davis's old room and listen to music. But then I turned to Kids Cancer Care. I had already been involved, but after Davis passed, everyone involved just helped me so much. Camp helped me a lot. I truly made my family, and I realized we were survivors. We had a very tough time since Davis passed. It's been a long journey this past 14 months, but we are survivors, and we'll miss him for the rest of our lives. Like Davis, not everyone will survive cancer, but those close to him have a choice to continue to survive and take that experience and show Davis that we are still surviving and thriving. This incredibly hard time my family and I are in cannot be changed, but we can change the way we react to it. We choose to be survivors and not let it beat us down and hurt us more than it already has. It's giving me many opportunities for the future, giving me strength and the willingness to change the world in front of me. Before Davis passed, he was involved in Kids Cancer Care Team Leadership Group. In early March 2011, he was supposed to travel to Mexico with the group and build homes with Homes of Hope. Unfortunately, he was far too sick to go by then, so I was asked to be his representative in the group and went to Mexico in his honor. The trip to Ensenada, Mexico in 2011 was incredible. It genuinely changed my perspective on so much. Meeting the families and having the opportunity to not only build them a house, but a home was incredibly amazing. I went again this past March to build houses, and I think the second time I really had something more to offer. It was a major life experience that helped me survive and thrive when I needed it the most. The teen leadership group and kids cancer care have helped me through so much. They've helped me survive and be strong and live as a kid who's lost her brother to cancer. They've helped me reach goals, set new ones, and have given me the tools to do so. I've gained many attributes from them, like responsibility, independence, and the sense of being a good person. The group and everyone in it has made me so much more dedicated to do the things that I want to do. They've also given me more opportunities for the future. Because of cancer, evil as it is, not only me, but my whole family has met so many incredible people and had so many life-changing experiences. I know Davis will always be there for me. I'm a survivor. We all are.
And now I would like to call up Sam.